Na 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 na. What is it?
Here come the outstepper.
Turn it up.
I'm the lyrical gangster.
Turn it up.
Is that the guy that did the?
I thought it was Murderer.
Is that the guy that did?
Is it
I
Murderer?
think it's Murderer.
I don't know. I mean,
What's the?
I'm thinking about
That's Snow.
back
Oh, that's Informer.
at the elbow room.
Informer.
You know, said Daddy Snow would like to play out. Lick your boom boom down. Detective.
Do you know when he wrote that? He's like, all right, listen to this,
it's
Teeter.
you know,
And then we'll end with lick your boom boom down.
Shit down the lane.
What?
What?
The thing.
For Snow?
Yeah.
It's in.
He was white or
You
Jamaican?
know, said Daddy Me Snow. He liked to play out and lick your boom boom down.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Is that
That
right?
is pretty bad.
Is that not
I
right?
think it's close. That's
I
really
mean,
close.
Detective
That was a
Man-
white dude or somebody
Detective
from like
Man
Central
said
America.
Daddy Snowman stabbed someone down the lane. Like, boom, boom, now.
At the elbow room down in Greenville.
What?
The elbow room, man. That was
room.
when I was at East Carolina. That was the spot.
Oh.
He played there.
No, but they played that song, and
No.
you would like dodge roofies
Well,
and try
Rico
to get out of
Suave.
there.
Gerardo.
I looked him up not recently. Seeing that dude's like 49, 52 years old, something
Yeah.
like that.
So are we.
And,
Gerardo Mejia.
There was something about him that I can't remember what it was. It was
Are we
some kind of
recording?
weird. Yeah, weird. All right. So number 2, Teeter, you're up next. Your honorable mention question, I guess. You'll call
I got
it.
2, but I'm gonna pick one.
Okay, go with both. Give him one.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give you one. Hey, here's that.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right, here we go. But I'll do the other one.
Mm.
Top 5 Seattle grunge albums
Hmm.
or
Oh, that's-
or EPs.
Okay. No, you got sap coming, don't you?
Shut up.
That's why you threw that in
Shut
there.
up.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Shut up.
What's Seattle? Like heart?
What? Yeah, I mean,
Or are we talking about
grunge? We're
grunge?
talking about what
Okay,
they call,
all right.
which is the
No,
word.
wait.
They hate that word,
Smashing
grunge.
Pumpkins though is not.
I would consider that grunge.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I
Go
mean-
ahead. Go with it.
I mean, I say Seattle grunge, Smash Pumpkins from Chicago, but they were thrown into that grunge category.
Right.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
You know, my top
These
5?
are going to be the same. Well, go ahead. Yeah,
They're probably not.
I bet they are.
I don't know.
All right, waiting.
Are you ready?
I'm born ready.
3 of mine are the same band.
Okay.
Ooh.
5, I'm gonna go Pearl Jam 10.
Yeah. Yep. Winner.
Do you not have that?
Yes.
I got that.
All right, 4, I'm thinking.
All right. Well, that'll be
There's
an
some
interesting one to do.
phantasmas in here.
Yeah.
4, I'm gonna go Soundgarden Super Unknown.
Mhm.
3, I'm gonna go Alice in Chains Facelift.
Sure.
4, I'm gonna go Alice in Chains Sap.
Dirt.
Or 2, and then 1, I'm gonna go Alice in Chains Dirt.
Okay. I would. Mine are the exact same with the exception I kick out Sap and I put Siamese Dream in. If we're going,
It's beautiful, yeah.
If they're in there, because Super Unknown, so good, and you can't argue with 10. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
And you
10 is-
and if I had to go into my head, Facelift or Dirt, it just depends on what day I wake up. You know,
Facelift's
because
better. but
I think Facelift is my favorite of the two, but then when you listen to Dirt, you're like, golly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just both really good. I think I like Facelift a little bit more because it's darker and more brooding. Go ahead, what do
I
you got?
think it's darker.
I go 10.
Yeah.
I go,
Sunshine.
I go 10.
All-
I go 10. I go Super
What's
Unknown. I go Dirt.
What was the first one?
10.
10?
Right?
Super Unknown. Dirt.
Do you find it weird that once is the first song on 10, but in Spanish it means 11?
Yes. Once.
Once
God bless America.
Same letters, it just pronounced
Okay.
a little different.
What?
Um,
11th upon a time.
I have to put Nevermind in there.
Yeah.
I have to.
That's not a bad pick. Not a bad
Bleach is better, never mind.
I disagree. But that's okay.
Take a walk.
I don't have to walk anywhere. I live here.
Nevermind.
You don't live here.
I remember the first
You
time I
live in
heard
the
Nevermind,
main
I was like,
house.
oh my God, that's really, really
Never
good.
mind. That's a good. See,
What did we
yeah.
just ignore, John? What did you
No, we
say
don't.
after Nevermind?
No, he
I
didn't
remember
say
the first
anything.
time I heard it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he gave
God,
us
this is
another
really,
answer.
I
really
bought
good.
Nevermind at Roses.
Mm.
I
Roses.
bought Nevermind and
There's still a Roses in Davidson County.
I brought Nevermind and Blood Sugar Sex Magic the same day.
Nice. Okay, so
Just
10,
apart.
Dirt,
Sorry.
Super Unknown,
They're old.
Nevermind,
Yep.
and Facelift.
Facelift's great.
There's just not enough. I mean, what are you gonna pick? The Screaming Trees?
You
Like,
can't-
there's not enough.
Speaking of Mark Lanigan's books, one of the finest top 5 biographies I've ever read. And I read a lot of biographies, one a week usually. So,
or bio?
I mean, I listen to them. Oh, biography.
Okay.
No, autobiography, written by them.
That's
Autobiography.
what I'm asking.
Autobiography. Sorry,
Okay, all
sorry. Well, I mean, I guess it's a both. It's a both. Mark Lanigan's book I just finished was an autobiography, and it was actually read by him. It was fantastic. He was the heroin dealer of all of the bands that we're talking about.
Super.
Billy Corgan was never on heroin, was he?
But Jimmy Chamberlain was.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think James.
I have a Jimmy Chamberlain story. Can I tell it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I've heard it.
So I'm working at Acme Comics part time for trade value because I'm a comic book geek and I still am. Spend way too much money at the comic book store, but anyway, I'm sitting there working at the comic book store, circa 2000. Girls were born in 2003, right before my girls were born, and Jimmy Chamberlain walks in to the comic book store I'm working at, and I'm like, "You're Jimmy Chamberlain," and he goes, "How did you know that?" I'm like, "Because I like music, and you're one of my favorite bands."
I've seen you at a heroin den.
So we started hanging out for that day. He's like, "Oh, Billy would love this place. He's into comic books, blah blah blah," and we're talking.
You should have asked him about Billy's weird, like.
I
have
a Billy story about that too.
I know you do.
Yeah.
You need to talk about that.
So we're talking.
A lot of people don't know about that.
We're talking to Jimmy Chamberlain, and we're talking about that. I get him to sign a comic book that has a character in it called the Drummer, and he signs the first appearance of the Drummer.
I'd have got him to sign Super
in
Unknown.
Planetary. Just so you know, I didn't have that. But I walk him out, and I'm like, "Hey man, it was really nice to meet you." This is before we had cell phones, but I do have a picture of it if you want to see it. It's on my phone. Someone took it with the camera there, it was a digital camera, and then he says, "Hey man, do you know where we could party tonight?" He was doing a drum clinic at the Music Loft,
right, which was right in the same shop.
And he goes, "Do you know where we can party tonight?" And I'm like, "Well, you can come to my house if you want to come over."
You come to my place.
And he was like,
"There's no heroin here."
No, this is what he says. He's like, "No, where we can like score and really party." And I was like, "Dude, I'm volunteering in a comic book shop. I don't do heroin.
I'm 24. I got children.
I mean, no, I don't do this." So that's my Jimmy Chamberlain.
Think about this.
He solicited me for heroin.
And think about how your life would have just hung a right.
If
you'd have been like,
if I OD'd with Jimmy
"Fix
Chamberlain.
me up, Jimmy." You know what I mean? Like, imagine
At the Hampton Inn on Battleground.
Right. Your daughters to this day would be like,
No, I don't know.
God,
Nah.
they just can't respect you.
That'd
They'd
be
pass
weird.
you like on underpasses in downtown. You'd be like begging for
Dude
change.
solicited me for heroin.
I
love it.
Now talk about Billy
Billy
Corgan's weird affliction.
So 2012, they were playing small clubs and they played.
Get back on their feet.
Get back on
right?
their feet.
In the Zeitgeist era.
There was a Zeitgeist tour. So they played like 90% of Zeitgeist and 20% of the rest of the stuff, which is 110%. Doesn't add up. That's okay. But so we go to Fillmore, the Fillmore in Charlotte to watch them, and I'm like, I'm going to meet Billy Corgan. So I waited out by his bus after the show with the people who I were with, and they were like, "Okay, Billy's going to come out, but you can't take his picture, you can't ask for his autograph, he'll answer any questions
You don't look him in the eyes.
Like
This-
David Byrne.
Yeah,
You're right.
David Byrne.
He's got a David Byrne story too.
Don't touch him. He's
Awesome
weird.
human being.
Right? Yeah.
David Byrne is fantastic. Anyway,
He's like full on spectrum autistic, right?
100%
Oh, yeah.
autistic.
Yeah.
So Billy comes out, and the first thing I know about
Oh,
Billy
he's never
is he has a birthmark from like his knuckles to his neck.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
But if you go
And
down-
I hadn't, until you told me the story, I went back to Google and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah. If
He's
you-
got like, it's like a tattoo
it
of
is.
birth.
It is.
Yeah.
And if
Tattoo
you go
of
back
birth.
and look at all of his videos back in the day,
Yeah, he's
has
always
long
and he
hair.
wears like that crap where like girls wear like the
He's covered up his
hoodies
damn
with the
birthmarks.
thumb hole.
Yeah.
And you're like, why you got a thumb hole? on
Because
your
I
hoodie?
almost said, he said, "Does anybody have more questions?" I almost went,
I got one.
I almost went,
in
"What the
3
fuck's
parts
on your arm?"
Right.
Somebody
That's
was
good.
a little happier.
I was a little happier than we
But
were.
But
hard,
I didn't
dude.
want to do that. Sorry.
Oh, you're
We're
hard.
really. Anyway, I'm
That's
done.
crazy though,
That's
man.
we're done.
So if you know anything about Billy Corgan, you'll get.
What's going on in
How
the
many times you
corner?
gonna? Who sneezes 4 times?
Yeah,
right?
dude, you get
Look,
2 of them. After
You
that,
go
get
to
yourself
Google
together, man.
and you find us a short sleeve version of Billy Corgan.
Yep.
Doesn't exist.
He's a human.
Yeah, and he's like 6'4". Did you know
Yeah,
that?
he looks like a
He's
big.
a tall-
he's a tall guy.
He used to own TNA Wrestling. Somebody needs to get this kid together, man. What is happening right
Give
now?
this kid
All right,
some
so
allergy
here's my
medicine.
next one. And Teeter's done this before, and this is a tough. This
That's a true story. He used to own TNA Wrestling.
Oh, I know. He still does.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he still
Him
does.
and Dixie
that's
Carter.
weird. That's weird. Dixie Carter, the lady from Designing Women,
That's who I went straight to in my brain.
isn't it? Isn't
Yeah.
that Dixie Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Ginger Sugarbaker. What's her name? Julia. Julia.
Let me make sure I got her name right.
Julia
Let me
Sugar.
follow
I don't
her.
think it's
Did
Dixie
you used
Carter.
to watch that with Warley?
I've seen. Yeah,
Hello.
I liked Annie Potts. She was the hot one.
Yes.
All right, so listen.
Who's Harry
So
Drum?
this is this is the tough one, right? This is going to be a very difficult, because, man, I'm going to tell you what, you could go all three ways with this one. All right? And I've asked Tito this, but he may not remember.
Three-way.
He may not remember.
Dixie Carter, I wasn't kidding.
The chick from Designing Women owns a wrestling league? I never guessed that one.
No, it's a different.
That black dude, the real effeminate black dude that was on the show, he's dead. What was his name?
That's Dixie Carter.
Meshack Taylor? Meshack?
That's Dixie Carter.
Meshack.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Abednego.
What? I think his name's Meshack.
Shadrach, Meshack, and
Taylor.
Abednego.
The black dude on Designing Women was
Abednego.
Meshack Taylor. I think he's dead. He was in Mannequin, remember?
Abednego.
Little
Oh
flamboyant dude.
yeah.
All right, so check us
With the
out.
glasses.
So here's what you got. You got the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s.
Okay.
You have to get rid of the you can only keep one
I
decade.
have done this with you.
It's tough. It's very
tough.
tough. You have to keep one decade and erase the other two, and then put the other two in what order you get rid of them. So, like, let's say you'd say, "Oh, I would definitely keep the 90s, and then I'd get rid of the 70s, and then I'd get rid of the 80s last, because or I'd prefer."
This is so easy for me.
Okay, it's 70s for you, right? It's the 80s.
It's 80s.
It's that's your number one.
Yes.
So you're keeping the 80s,
Yes.
no questions asked.
God damn,
All right,
that's hard for me.
that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping the 80s because you're talking Tears for
It's
Fears,
so
The
good.
Cars, Police, Madonna. I mean, Metallica. The Big Four came out.
Casey hates the '80s, and I love it.
It's
Here's a story for that.
that's not a
and
reason
I'll
to stay
keep-
married.
I'll keep
Casey
it. I'll keep it
I
real
don't
short.
even understand
No,
that.
I'll keep it real short. I promise.
That's not.
So when we first
We don't want
started,
you to.
when we first started, that
Keep it long, John.
Yeah, I was living by myself, okay? And I had a laptop that sat beside my bed in my bedroom, and I had Radio Shore, which, like SURE, which was the app that I listened to on my computer, and I listened to 80s every night when I went to bed. Every night.
That's what
As you
play
sleep.
tapes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As
Or,
you
or
sleep,
slept.
as you
Either
slept.
way.
Yeah.
So when she would come
That's what I
over,
meant.
it would be playing. When it was time to go to bed, she would wake up in the middle of the night. 80s is playing constantly. So when we get in, she's like, please put on the 90s. I cannot do the 80s. Please.
What's y'all's age difference?
2 years. She's born 79.
That
I'm
don't make no
76.
sense.
It blows me away. She hates the 80s.
She
I
should
love
love
it.
the 80s.
She should. I agree. I love it.
I don't think you're indoctrinating her properly.
I don't.
All right, what are you keeping? What's the decade you're keeping? I know it's tough. It's not.
I
easy.
mean, because my favorite band of all time, my top two.
but it's
favorite
that
bands-
one or two bands
But-
versus
but-
a whole decade.
Yeah,
that's the argument.
I have to keep the 70s.
Just because of like Sabbath, Pink Floyd,
I can't get
Rush,
rid of
all that
Floyd.
crap.
I can't get rid of Floyd or the Dead.
But I
I
see,
can't.
if you get rid of the Floyd and you give me the Police, I'm okay.
The Police were
I'm-
70s, homeboy.
No.
Yes,
They're
it is, yes, yes.
okay, so let me make a rule.
Yeah.
The majority of their catalog
Is
came
80s.
out in the
I'm
80s.
just
They're an
telling
80s
They're
band.
a 70s
I get it
band.
that
No.
So Lonely came out in
Yeah.
78 or whatever.
That's a
not
70s
that,
band.
it's not a 70s band. You ask the entire populace of America, they would say, "Oh, it's an 80s band." They're not going to know
They're
anything
wrong.
about that. Where did most of their stuff go? So what is Bruce? What's Bruce?
70s.
No, he's in the
80s?
80s. He's in it. I know when. I know.
When did Born to Run
I
come
know
out?
when
could be
that
wrong.
stuff came out.
When did Born to Run come out?
When did his best album come out?
Born to Run is his best album.
86. Tunnel of Love.
No.
You go crazy.
You're on
87.
drugs.
79.
Tunnel of
I
Love,
I'm
Human
looking it up.
Touch, Born
No,
in
no, no,
USA,
no, no,
all
no,
that
no,
think.
crap
no,
was
no,
the
no.
80s.
79.
He's an 80s rock artist. That's when he
It might
came
be
into his own.
77 now. It's 77
Yeah, it
or
was,
79.
I think it was
Born to Run.
77, 78, something like that.
When did this out?
Because, you know, he had...
75.
Even earlier.
Get
Even
your
earlier.
bullshit
But
80s Bruce
when,
out of here.
Okay, when did
No.
he... Okay, so here's the...
It ain't matter when he broke. It's when he
it's, that's... Yes, yes.
No. You
So
give
what
me
is Floyd? What's Floyd? I'm not
70s.
Not Floyd. Fleetwood Mac. Because with Peter Green, they were big in the 60s.
Nah,
but nobody
70s.
knew about
They're
it.
70s. They're 70s.
That's
Yeah,
what I
they're
would say.
70s.
But by
Yeah.
your logic, they're a
Yeah.
60s
Because
band.
they took a
Is
massive
that
hiatus.
was Peter Green in the 60s?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 68, 69.
You got to think they took a massive
Yeah,
hiatus.
they were a long-term band,
Lindsey
dude.
Buckingham was doing
So
his
by
solo
your
stuff in
stupid
80,
logic, you
83.
find
Shut
them
up.
right, then Bruce is an 80s band. Or Fleetwood Mac's a 60s band.
60s.
I think they came out in the late 60s. Officially.
Yeah, he's right.
Ah! Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
67. Dude, you know,
All right, listen.
we're having an intervention
So-
right now.
Yeah, we
You
need
can't
to
do an
talk
intervention with ammonia
I don't
salts.
think you can.
Whatever.
You can do an intervention with
Really
anything.
You ain't getting me off those because they ain't strong enough anymore. I gotta get XXL.
No, we need to
There's
talk
is there a bigger
All
one?
right, so listen. I don't know. I gotta look. All right, so what I'm
Like,
saying
they're
is,
like one of those protein tubs.
I still go 70s. I do
Flavor.
70s. I keep
you
the
keep the 70s.
I keep the 70s,
Okay.
and then I keep the 90s, and then I keep the 80s.
Mm,
Oh god,
that,
can't do it.
that's not right.
that's what it
That,
is.
what is the what?
Here's
other
why.
than you take grunge off the 90s,
But
you still
say-
keeping the 90s?
Yeah, I'm keeping the 90s.
If I take grunge away.
I'm keeping the 90s.
That's what
What
I
else
thought.
is
That's why I
there?
thought you were keeping it.
The
Mariah Carey?
Biggie Smalls,
Bruce Hornsby?
Biggie Smalls, Tupac,
Tupac,
Wu-Tang
yeah.
Clan. I mean, you got everything. Beastie Boys is 80s, actually.
They are 80s.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
I mean,
I don't know. That's a tough one because they were more
87.
commercially successful. I mean, "Fight for Your Right to Party" is a stupid song, but it
It's
came out
good.
with like
87.
87.
stupid song.
87.
It is kind of dumb.
It's horrible.
Your mom threw away your best porno
Horrible.
mag. I mean, it's just
That
it's
song
just
is
dumb.
That song is horrible.
Come on.
That song
Somebody
is
smells
absolutely
nice. Somebody
Somebody
smells
smells
nice.
nice.
Somebody smells nice. Buddy, is this your hustler? Because I'm going to throw it away.
Oh, that's funny.
You got to get him
No.
to tell you what he told me this morning. So we were talking about.
But
getting
we're on
food.
video. What's happening?
All right.
About what you told me this morning.
Oh, which one?
We'll hold off on
food.
that.
I
All
was
right,
like, no,
so
I'm
listen.
good.
So you're
Oh, no, yeah, we're not doing
the
that one.
keeping
Yeah.
wise. You're 70s, 90s, 80s.
70s, 90s, 80s.
Man, and see, here's where it's difficult for me. I'm definitely keeping the 80s, and it's kind of a toss-up, but because of my formative years where I really just fell absolutely head over heels,
You're going
I'd go
90s.
90s. And then I get rid of the 70s first.
You're crazy.
What are you doing?
80s is one.
We said that, but
70s
what's your
is-
second?
70s is two.
Yeah,
70s, you're keeping 70s too.
Yeah.
See, we're all three different. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
crazy.
That is, but that's a tough question, is it not?
You have to. There's so many.
We
You
add,
have so much. You still
I
have
get
so
it.
much Zeppelin.
Yeah,
there.
I know, I get
you
it.
have Queen. You have the Who. I mean, there's so.
but look,
Rolling
you,
Stones
you
albums
got-
in the
but-
70s.
But look, there's also you got Thin Lizzy, you've got bands like Jerry Rafferty. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the late 70s.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that was. I mean, that you don't even think about Jackson Brown, blah blah blah. Joe Jackson,
He's 80s.
he's more popular 80s, but I think he had 70s stuff.
Joe
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I said that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't know nothing about no Joe Jackson,
Didn't he write
You-
Ghostbusters?
that's Ray Parker
That's
Jr.
Ray Parker Jr.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, you about to have some knee surgery because I'm gonna lose the cartilage in
You
that
can't.
left one.
You can't. Don't.
All right.
That's blasphemy. Don't talk
I
about
mean,
Joe Jackson.
You ever compare Joe Jackson?
Oh!
You bet to Ray Parker. You better be talking about Michael's daddy.
Miss it.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe Jackson.
All right.
There's a symbol in the way I couldn't see. Did he miss that part?
Are we satisfied with our mystery question roundtable?
Yeah. I
It's
like.
pretty cool. That
That's
was difficult. John's is a hell of a question.
My fourth question, if we all had one, was what's the best porno soundtrack of all time? Top 5.
I don't even know what that would mean.
Yeah.
Soundtrack.
Yeah.
Why are
Soundtrack.
you listening to the music?
Who does it?
Who would
It's Bow Chicka Wow. They could have taken.
bounce?
They could have taken.
Wow.
I swear to God, and I told him this a million times. You could have taken Dire Maker and put it in the background of
You have
every
said-
porn movie that you could ever watch, and it would have been perfect.
It's right.
Look.
It's 100%.
Are you
Play
a,
it.
are you
Bring
a
it up.
fan? Are you a fan of Bronyer R or Bronyer R Stomp?
Ooh. Stomp.
Oh God, you're an idiot.
Oh, I don't think that I'm an idiot. I mean,
Yes, for that reason only.
man.
Dude, credits.
Here
roll,
lies
credits
an
roll,
idiot.
Scene, and then you get this.
We've all heard the song.
No. It could be.
We're gonna get copyrighted now.
Nah.
I do
Look.
not own the rights to this music.
Bro,
Yeah.
Listen to
Bronyer
it.
R, Bronyer R Stomp.
Dude, it's
What are you going with?
It's beautiful. What?
Bronyer R, Bronyer R Stomp. Am I saying it right? I don't even know.
I mean, yeah.
Nobody knows how to pronounce it. Jimmy Page can't pronounce that.
Jimmy Page is like a Wiccan.
It's he is.
It's,
this
no,
for-
he's
is
a
this for money?
Crowleyist.
All right, so here lies another ending. And I think at the beginning of this, we started this off without any words, and we got so high we scratched till we bled.
And I love myself better than you.
Mm.
I know this song. What can I do?
Ooh, you're on a what?
Hey, you better fasten that safety belt.
You don't do it at the end.
We're doing it
We
backwards.
just did it. Yeah, we're
Well, you would have to go. Well, let's see how this goes.
and tighten your chin strap.
No, you loosen your chin.
Loosen your waist safety.
Yeah.
All right, kill it.
It's all about continuity.
All right,
Nice.
one for the road.
God, man, stop doing that.
Ah!
Woo! Giddy ups.